man, I live in a good neighborhood. Good morning, by the way. I live in a good neighborhood, but I got some ghetto neighbors, man. I'm like getting in the car this morning, freaking police department shows up. My neighbor, who's a little crazy. I mean, I don't know what's going on, but he's talking to the cops. So I don't know if he's trying to turn somebody in and get himself out of something. I don't know. Anyways, I'm on my way to work. I'm actually really happy today because I have a meeting with 2 of my coworkers who I love and adore. And so our meetings are always super fun and productive. So I have that going on. Yoga today. I need to get some content done. I've been a little lax because I've been listening to Prince Harry's new book, The Spare. And, oh my God, freaking loving this book. If you are hating on Prince Harry, and number one, you are not the youngest in your family, you have no idea. I mean, I'm sorry. I love my siblings, but being that younger sibling, the baby of the family, isn't always what it's cracked up to be. It's just not. And there are competitions. So my thing is, one of the things that I am having a beef with is that people swear that they have never had any drama in their life. Like none. So I just don't understand. Sorry, I put my phone down because I just saw the sheriff's department just roll by me. And they swear like they've never had a confrontation, verbal or physical, with a sibling. And I have got to say that is just not accurate. I mean, I think every family has that. Just people just don't talk about it. But I mean, shoot, I know me and my sister, we had some fights when we were little, and my other siblings as well, like really bad fights. It's part of growing up, and sometimes that continues. And when you're in the position that they are, where your life has basically been videotaped, scrutinized, and your sibling is the next king of England, I mean, it's going to be a different life for you. You know what I'm saying? There's going to be some rivalry. There's going to be jealousy. There's going to be all of that. So I'm just enjoying listening to the book because there's like a lot of stuff in there that I think is super valid that people just are not getting a clue to, and a lot of people should be able to relate, is trauma in your life and how that affects your life from that point. And the reason why I'm super sensitive to that is that I've seen that happen in my mom's life with trauma with her when her dad passed away. And really from that time of when that trauma happens, you're kind of always stuck in that time emotionally. And so I'm just kind of like, yeah, duh. This is, of course, going to have a huge impact in his relationships and with how he deals with his family and friendships. And of course, he's going to have major beef with the press because they basically killed his mother. So I'm like hanging on every word. I've just been listening to it like every day at work. It's been so good. And just some of the things that maybe like people are like, he shouldn't have put in the book, like the whole thing about him getting frostnip in his nether regions. I was dying. I thought it was totally him to put that in his book because number one, he's just a dude. Number two, he's a guy in the military, and that's what those guys talk about. And so I just thought it was completely appropriate for him to add that in. And plus it's just hysterical because that's his personality, is that he is just hilarious. So I thought it was very fitting, Harry, very fitting. And I'm especially, okay, so my thing is, if you are just a girl in general and you're watching this, this whole Harry and Meghan thing. Man, I have been Team Harry forever, since I've learned about the royal family. Always Team Harry. Why? Because he was the younger sibling, and so am I. But when the whole Harry and Meghan thing, man, I'm gonna tell you what, I knew that guy, and I think a lot of people who are black just knew that Harry would never be happy unless he married a black girl. I mean, come on. And whether people like it or not, he did. And my number one thing is number one, he fell in love with the person because number one, he just saw just what a good and kind human being she was, and they had a lot in common. And it wasn't based on her race. And that just made me love him even more, just because I'm one of those people that my heart is open to every race. And so all of my relationships that I've ever been have been interracial. So I really felt, and I know a lot of other people who are all over the world felt like when they got married that it was super hopeful for all of us, that number one, that he followed his heart, and that his heart was open, and that he didn't see color, he just saw her. And I just thought it was such a beautiful moment in time for the world to see that, you know what, it doesn't matter what race you are, as long as your heart's open and you get to know them. Like love can be beautiful no matter what color you are, and everyone deserves that love. And anyways, so I just love how he's talking about when he first saw Meghan, which was on Instagram, which I thought was great, but it was a picture of her being silly with some type of puppy filter on, making faces with her friend. And that was just so sweet and so innocent that would be the thing that he was like, whoa, like, number one, who is this chick? She's beautiful. And number two, like, oh, what kind of personality she has, like, how sweet. Yeah. And then I ended up sending a message to my sister because their first date, he was like 30 minutes late. And so honestly, like, if that was me, like, I would have been ready to go. Prince Harry are not. I would have been like, you know what? If you can't even show up on time for me, I don't care who you are, I'm out. But she waited. And he was sweating and freaking out that he had messed up and that she was going to leave. And he was just trying to do anything to get to her. And he apologized. And he learned his lesson the second day he was there early waiting for her. He never made that mistake again. And I said to my sister, I said, you know what? I sent her that clip of the audio. And I said, you know what? If I'm not going to date a guy who is not freaked out and upset and beside himself because he's afraid that he's going to mess up his chances with me. If he's not feeling that way and he's kind of like whatever, then that is not my guy. So anyways, that's my whole thing on that. And anyways, I'm loving the book. I don't care. People got beef, whatever. I have been Team Harry since the beginning. I knew, and I also knew that he was going to move to California at some point. That boy, he is an American. I don't care what anybody says. I know he's from England. He grew up in that family, but that boy is a true American. We claim him as one of us. And we love you, Prince Harry. We love you so much. So yeah. And he's a true Californian. And I just always knew. I just always knew that somehow, some way, that they were going to end up here. And we are so glad that they are California residents, and we hope they stay forever because, you know, it's California love, man. California love.